Good morning, lovely people. I'm going to talk about something I haven't talked about in a long time today, how quickly South Korea and Japan are buying large amounts of XRP. You may have heard of this issue before, but I want to stress how serious it is in today's movie. Many people think of the United States when they think of XRP. It makes sense that most buyers would come from the United States since XRP is based there and the United States has the biggest economy. To be honest, that wasn't even close to true. Most people who buy script on platforms are not from the United States, are from South Korea. And Japan is a huge market that is growing quickly thanks to new ideas that have come up in the professional world that many of you can't even imagine. South Korea and Japan have made huge contributions to the growth of expert. In all honesty, that is one of the most important things because adoption is happening there and it's happening very quickly. I also just got back from a trip to Dubai, which some of you may or may not know about. While I was there, I talked to a lot of different people, including both of my business partners, BitNix and Tekin. Additionally, I talked to people from FX and other sites, and they all told me the same thing. Believe I, do you know something really cool? Although the United States produces most of our goods, it is actually South Korea that produces the majority of our goods. The fact that XRP worth trillions of dollars is traded in that country is completely insane, especially when you consider how small that country is and how quickly and intensely they trade XRP. Before we talk about a lot of news about Japan and Korea, I'd like to make a quick comment about something. In my Crypto Crusaders group, we just finished closing one of our trades right now. The transaction was started and ended by me, and I made both my arrival and departure public so that everyone in that group could see and understand. XRP now has full control of Korea. The cryptocurrency called XRP recently passed Datex and BX to become the most traded cryptocurrency on the EPIT exchange in Korea. It currently holds the top spot with 11.3% of the huge $3,590,000,000, 0 cents, 24-hour value for a single trade pair. It is almost unheard of for a single country to handle such a high volume of transactions. An American penny would be worth so much in Korea. Some really amazing things are happening on the website that neither Bitcoin nor Ethereum could ever do. Do you think this is the start of the cash-based takeover of XScript? When it comes to South Korea's widespread use of XScript, this is just the first wave of many that will come in the future. In all honesty, I honestly believe that it is. I find it amazing that they are doing so much more in Korea than I could ever imagine. Most importantly, you can already use XRP to make purchases at a number of Korean stores. That is the most important thing. Let me quickly show you this Korean video clip so that you can understand what I'm trying to say in less than 10 seconds. You can scan a QR code, enter the amount of your payment, and then simply slide the XScript wheel to choose the amount or currency that you want to use. All of this is possible with XScript, which is why it was created, and more vendors are making it possible for this to happen so that they can get more buyers. I think this will become more common in Korea and Japan because a lot of people there are interested in cryptocurrencies, and wallets that are connected to their platforms are available for them to use. They can complete these transactions without any delays. I think it is the best idea ever. As I already said, it's not just Korea. Japan is also there. According to the Bank of Japan, by the end of 2025, every bank in the country will be able to accept a KERP as a form of payment. This is important not only because of its size, but also because it's a historical event. At a time when Japan is leading the way for the rest of the world, XRP is a currency that is essential to the country's economic development. You can see that SPY Holdings, a big Japanese company that works in the financial services industry, is in charge of this project, which will last until 2025. The rate of official adoption in Japan is significantly higher than in other countries, much higher than almost every other country in the world. When compared to almost every other country, South Korea is light years ahead of the competition when it comes to selling it in stores. When these two markets come together, they make something that is very useful for XRP, and it is now being made here. I agree with you that we shouldn't ignore this issue, but Please don't take that the wrong way. I talk a lot about important and current events in the United States, but I also think that events in Japan and Korea are just as important, and that's why I chose to show you this video. According to the CEO, Japan's biggest bank said that all banks would be using X by 2025. The first thing I talked about in this video was crypto crusaders. Now I'm going to talk about some other very important trade stuff, but first let's watch this very important video. Japanese culture puts a lot of value on cash, which shouldn't be a surprise since some people think we're pretty advanced. It's interesting to note that only 19% of all purchases made in Japan, where I was born and raised, are paid for with digital currency. You could say that increasing the use of digital payment methods is on the national agenda with the goal of creating a whole new payment platform or infrastructure that is driven by Rippo's distributed ledger technology. This will replace the current domestic payment system, which is called the Zinki system, and it could also be used for money transfers between countries. Zelle, on the other hand, is a great company that was built on top of a train that was already running. I'm talking about exactly what she said, which is 50 different. So as we have Japan's biggest banks are working together to beat the old record. They also have other partnerships like the one with Zelle to show that Ripple is building the tracks in that area. They're bridging the gap here and letting institutions make full use of this tech. When you think about this, it's really amazing, and I'm sure that XScript has a lot more potential than most people think. It makes a lot of sense to me when I think about how popular XRP is in Korea compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum put together, and even more so when I think about what's going on in Japan. I'm sure that XScript will become the most popular cryptocurrency in the world within the next 5 to 10 years. Remember that these technologies are still very young, even if some of you find it strange that Bitcoin has become so popular so quickly. The Skirk will come up with new ideas and make tools that people will use. Those who do this will see growth. A lot of people have the wrong idea about Bitcoin. Please don't get it wrong. I think using Bitcoin is one of the best ways to save money. It's not about the money. Bitcoin is a decentralized cryptocurrency that helps people, saves them money, and makes their lives easier. Having said all that, I think it's clear that you guys agree that AxeScrap systems are very impressive. Earlier in the video, I showed you how I made a 56% profit on a transaction I did a few weeks ago. I'm giving you this information for free because I want to make sure that all of you can join Crypto Crusaders, which is the group that I do business with and where I enter all of my trades. Please don't hesitate to sign up. I will also let you know about all of my openings and exits and give you great benefits just for signing up, okay? Tatsuki and Us.Thankx are the two exchanges I've worked with. If you put more than $500, 0 cents, you can get a 10% bonus. If you sign up for either of them and make a deposit, Tets will lower its trading cost by 40%,